पहला सवाल जो पाकिस्तान में भी कन्फ्यूजन है और मैं ख़ुद भी कन्फ्यूज हूँ। मेरे पिछले इंटरव्यू में आपने इरशाद फरमाया था कि अगर अमेरिका और पाकिस्तान की जंग हुई या किसी और मुल्क से तो आप पाकिस्तान का साथ देंगे, लेकिन बाज़ औक़ात ऐसे भी बयानात सामने आ जाते हैं। रिसेंटली आपका एक बयान हमारी नज़रों से गुज़रा जिसमें आपने फरमाया था कि आपकी ख्वाहिश होगी कि आपका अकलौता बेटा मीरवैस वो पाकिस्तान के साथ जंग में शहीद हो जाए। हम हैरान हैं कि हम आपकी उन बातों पे यकीन कर लें, उनको दायमी समझें, या कि ये जो पाकिस्तान मुखालिफ बातें हैं इनको दायमी समझें।
I remember that interview, and before I answer that, I will say Assalamu alaikum to the people of Pakistan and to all our friends and sisters and brothers there. Your question, if Pakistan is attacked, what will be the response of the Afghan government and people? I said that we will be with Pakistan, meaning that when the Soviet Union attacked Afghanistan, the people of Pakistan shared their home and bread and water with us in an extremely brotherly manner. Millions of Afghan refugees lived in Pakistan and are still having a home there, finding a home there for themselves. That if Khuda na khasta, God forbid, the same situation comes on Pakistan, that the people of Afghanistan and the land of Afghanistan will be there to stand with you, to receive you, and to welcome you, and to host you. This is in regard to the people of Pakistan.
You still have the same opinion?
Absolutely.
अगर अमेरिका ने अटैक किया या इंडिया ने किया तो
anybody whoever comes to attack Pakistan, Afghanistan will be brotherly with the people of Pakistan as the people of Pakistan were brotherly to the Afghan people. As the people of Pakistan received us in their homes and villages, we will be willing and happy to receive and provide home to the people of Pakistan. Now,
but last time, Mr. President,
now God forbid, I hope this will never happen. But if it happens, the Afghan people will reciprocate. The Afghan people will reciprocate the hospitality and goodwill of the people of Pakistan.
But last time, after that interview, even your office issued a clarification to the media that you were misquoted. तो क्या अब इस मर्तबा तो ऐसा नहीं हो?
My office never did that. I stand by my statement then, and I have repeated it now. God forbid, if something happens to Pakistan, to Pakistani people, the Afghan people will reciprocate the hospitality, the brotherhood that the people of Pakistan showed to us. We will exactly do the same. And we have not forgotten, and we have not forgotten, and we will not forget the brotherhood and the hospitality of the people of Pakistan.
अच्छा, एक तरफ आपकी तरफ से इस मोहब्बत का, इस इखलास का, इस भाईचारे का इजहार, और दूसरी तरफ फिर आपकी तरफ से ऐसे स्टेटमेंट्स आ जाते हैं कि पाकिस्तान के साथ जंग में अगर आपका बेटा खुदा न खास्ता शहीद हो जाए तो आपको खुशी होगी.
I have never said that my son should sacrifice his life in war with Pakistan. I said that my son, like the children of all other Afghans, should be ready for sacrifice for Afghanistan and wherever that sacrifice may be.
अच्छा, तो फिर ये जो इस वक्त हम देख रहे हैं आपकी हुकूमत की तरफ से, आपके मुख्तलिफ अहदेदारों की तरफ से पाकिस्तान के ख़िलाफ़ बयानात हम देख रहे हैं। जलालाबाद में, खोस्त में स्टेट स्पॉन्सर्ड मुजाहरे पाकिस्तान के ख़िलाफ़ हो रहे हैं, पाकिस्तान के झंडे जलाए जा रहे हैं, तो आपकी सदारत में फिर ये सब कुछ क्यों?
Well, that's a different question. We, in the past 10 years, my government has had the greatest of efforts in making friendship with Pakistan a reality. In spite of all the sufferings that we had. You see, we must have a differentiation here. As much happy and grateful as we are to the people of Pakistan, we have complaints and grievances against the establishment in Pakistan, the military and the intelligence in Pakistan, not the civilian government. The civilian governments have been good to Afghanistan. President Zardari has been very good to Afghanistan. The civilian government has been good to Afghanistan. Our complaint is against the military and the intelligence in Pakistan. None of our efforts towards friendship with Pakistan, towards the end to radicalism in both Afghanistan and Pakistan were reciprocated or given a positive answer. Time was wasted. Time was not gained by the establishment in Pakistan. The recent anger in Afghanistan, the recent protests in Afghanistan are not directed at the people of Pakistan, but are clearly directed at the establishment of the military and the intelligence in Pakistan, who have not given up their effort to destabilize Afghanistan, to weaken Afghanistan, to use radicalism against Afghanistan, and of course with consequences for the people of Pakistan as well. And one more word, and to try so Afghanistan will not have a strong government or a strong state.
Mr. President, the flag of Pakistan, it's the flag of every Pakistani, not only of the Pakistani military or the Pakistani establishment. वो जलते रहे आपके मुल्क में, ईरान का झंडा एक मरतबा जला, आपने ईरान की हुकूमत से माजरत कर ली, लेकिन पाकिस्तान जिसको आप अपना भाई समझते हैं, जिसके बारे में आप कहते हैं कि उसका दुश्मन मेरा दुश्मन है, उनका झंडा रोज़ जलता है, लेकिन आपकी तरफ से कभी पाकिस्तान से माजरत
I am not aware that ever the flag of Pakistan was burnt. We respect the flag of Pakistan. This is the flag of the people of Pakistan. We respect it very, very much. And if there's any such burning of the flag of Pakistan, we regret it. And I will in the future make sure, just as I defended the Iranian flag and the Iranian leaders, respect for the Iranian leadership, I will do the same with regard to the Pakistani flag because it represents the Pakistani people.
But Mr. President, पाकिस्तानी फ़ौज और इस्टेब्लिशमेंट ने बॉन कॉन्फ्रेंस में आपके इंतखाब को फैसिलिटेट किया, आप पाकिस्तान से अफ़गानिस्तान तशरीफ़ ले आए यहाँ के प्रेसिडेंट की हैसियत से, पिछले इलेक्शन में भी उन्होंने आपको फैसिलिटेट किया, फिर अफ़गानिस्तान तशरीफ़ ले आए पाकिस्तान के प्राइम मिनिस्टर, आर्मी चीफ, DGISI सब आपके इसी ईमान सदर में आपके पास तशरीफ़ ले आए, एक जॉइंट कमीशन बना, उन्होंने आपको ताउन का हाथ बिठाया, लेकिन आपने कुछ अर्सा बाद रब्बानी साहब की शहादत के बाद आपने फिर पाकिस्तान के ख़िलाफ़ बयानात दे दिए, तो उनको गिला ये है कि हमारी दोस्ती का जवाब नहीं मिल रहा।
No, it is not that way. The Afghan government tried very hard. The late President Rabbani, Shaheed President Rabbani, worked extremely hard for friendship with Pakistan. I remember President Rabbani telling the then Prime Minister, Mr. Gilani, the current Army Chief, General Kiani, and others, that it's getting late for Pakistan, that we should join hands to bring peace and stability to both countries, that the more we delay, the worse it will be for both sides, for both of us. We have, unfortunately, not seen any reciprocation in kind of goodwill from the establishment in Pakistan, meaning the military and the intelligence. And I'm very clear now on this subject because I want the people of Pakistan to know that an opportunity is wasted 10 years are wasted, that I hope that the next government in Afghanistan will have an election in a year's time, 10 months' time, that the next government in Afghanistan, giving the same opportunity to Pakistan, that the Pakistani establishment will take the opportunity and work with Afghanistan for a better future for the people of Pakistan and for us. Now, never in the past 65 years of Pakistan's history has there been so much contact between the two governments as we have had in the past 10 years. Many of those contacts were initiated by the Afghan government. Many of those efforts were initiated by the Afghan government. The effort in Turkey, through the good offices of the President of Turkey, were an Afghan initiative that luckily the brothers in Turkey responded positively to. The effort in Saudi Arabia, by the kind hospitality of Khadim Haramain Sharifain. The efforts elsewhere in the world, in the UK, in the United States, those were all Afghan initiatives. They were not Pakistan initiatives. But those initiatives were taken as a passing moment, not as substantive possibilities that Pakistan could use to have friendship.
पाकिस्तानी कहते हैं कि उन्होंने कहा अमेरिका जो हम अमेरिका गए, इस्तांबुल जो इस्तांबुल गए, उन्होंने कहा तालिबान को पकड़ो, हमने तालिबान को अपना दुश्मन बना दिया, वो आज हमसे लड़ रहे हैं। प्रेसिडेंट साहब ने कहा उनको रिहा कर दो, हमने रिहा कर दिया। कहते वो किसी भी सूरत में खुश नहीं होते और ये अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ वो अफ़गान हुकूमत के बारे में कह रहे कि अफ़गान हुकूमत अपॉर्चुनिटीज़।
I know they say that. It's easy to blame. It's easy to have a blame game, but the truth is not there. And I will tell you why. With the jihad in Afghanistan, with the success of the Afghan jihad and the defeat of the Soviet Union, the Afghan people had immense goodwill for Pakistan. That goodwill of the Afghan people was not used by the establishment in Pakistan to have a friendly government, a friendly country in Afghanistan. That goodwill was used to weaken Afghanistan, to have puppet governments in Afghanistan, to have governments pliant to the wishes of the Pakistani establishment in Afghanistan. That didn't work. It caused us misery and destruction, but it didn't bring what Pakistan wanted. If all of this is done, so Afghanistan would recognize the Durand line, it will not happen. If all of this is done by Pakistani establishment, so Afghanistan would become the strategic depth for Pakistan, it will not happen. The Afghan people will never, never allow their governments to recognize the Durand line. The Afghan people will never allow their government to be a strategic depth for Pakistan. The Afghan people will never allow the Afghan government to subject its foreign policy or parts of its foreign policy to the Pakistani will or to the Pakistani dictation. But the Afghan people will allow, will encourage, by all means, a friendly Afghanistan with Pakistan, a cooperative Afghanistan with Pakistan, on the basis of sovereignty, mutual respect, and mutual relationship. Not a relationship between a master and a subject. This will not happen. There was an aberration in history for a while when the Taliban were here, or before that. That will not happen again.
लेकिन उसमें तो क्या आप डिवाइडेड लाइन को बॉर्डर नहीं रिकॉग्नाइज कर रहे हैं दोनों मुल्कों के दरमियान?
The Durand line is imposed by the British colonial rule, never recognized by the Afghan people. A people were divided into two, arbitrarily and through a colonial force and deceit. The Afghan people have not recognized that. That's why the Afghan people have never recovered from that memory with regard to Britain as well. Pakistan is the inheritor to the British rule, to the British Raj here. So the story continues. But
तो ताजिक और उज़्बेक भी डिवाइड हो गए।
But the Afghan people have not gone to war over this issue with Pakistan, and they will not. The Afghan people want friendship, but friendship does not mean the recognition of the Durand line. It is an issue not for governments. The governments in Afghanistan would never have that power. It's an issue for the people of Afghanistan and for the people of the Durand line across the border in Pakistan.
कैसे डिसाइड करेंगे? पीपल तो आज तक एक लीडर पे इत्तेफाक नहीं कर सके, तो ये इशू कैसे डिसाइड होगा?
It's for the people to decide. Forums can be created for the people to decide on this. I said we have not raised this issue with Pakistan because the Afghan people have not decided that it should become an issue of conflict. But the Afghan people have also not given an approval to the Durand line at all since it was created in 1893. While we have not gone to dispute over Pakistan, as the people of Afghanistan, we have also, as the people of Afghanistan, not recognized it.
तो जब ये बात होगी आपकी तरफ से और ड्यूरेंट लाइन के बारे में आपके ये ख्यालात होंगे, तो आप क्या समझते हैं कि पाकिस्तान और आपकी दोस्ती हो सकती है?
These are not khayalat. These are facts. This is a fact on the ground. Pakistan is not blamed for this. Britain is blamed for this. The colonial rule of Britain is blamed for this. And for Pakistan and Afghanistan, the best way forward is not by Pakistan trying to force upon us through terrorism, through suicide bombs, through the spread of radicalism, especially among the people on the two sides of the Durand line. Not through those means, but through friendship and through a civilized relationship, we can engage in a new model of relationship where borders become insignificant, where we can live like Germany and France through a union of a more civilized relationship where people-to-people relations are broader and closer, and economic activities is broader and wider. That is the perspective we have of the relationship between the two countries. In other words, conspiratorial politics against Afghanistan, the use of terrorism against Afghanistan, the use of violence against the Afghan people and the people of the two sides of the Durand line will not get Pakistan a recognition of the Durand line. Friendship, cooperation, a civilized relationship will get us past the issue towards a better future.
आप जब एक तरफ ये कहते हैं कि ये बॉर्डर के आर पार मुदाखलत होती है, टेररिज्म होता है, ये सब कुछ है, लेकिन दूसरी तरफ फिर इस बॉर्डर को जब तस्फिया करने की बात आ जाती है या उसको मैनेज करने की बात आ जाती है, तो आप उसकी भी मुखालफत करते हैं, तो ये क़ज़िया कैसे हल होगा?
In terms of a de facto activity, we have no problem. In terms of management of a de facto border, we have no problem. There is a passport branch there, there is an immigration branch there, there is a customs office there, all of that is happening. That's no problem. We are speaking of this border being recognized as the border. We see it as a boundary. We see it as a sphere of influence, not as a border. And that's exactly how it was drawn by the British, as a sphere of influence, if you see the Durand Agreement. So, to put it very clearly, and I like to repeat this, so the people of Pakistan would know that if this brutality against Afghanistan, the killing of Afghan children and women, suicide bombs, radicalism spread among the people of Afghanistan and among the people on both sides of the Durand line, and bloodshed is done by the establishment in Pakistan, the military and the intelligence, to force Afghanistan to the recognition of the Durand line? No way. It will never happen, regardless of the price that we will pay. But through friendship and cooperation and a civilized relationship, the two countries can move forward.
तो अगर पाकिस्तान इन तरीक़ों से नहीं कर सकता, अफ़गानिस्तान को अपने रास्ते पे नहीं ला सकता, तो फिर क्या अफ़गानिस्तान इंटेलिजेंस के ज़रिए इस तरह के कामों से पाकिस्तान को अपने रास्ते पे ला सकता है?
No, we have never tried that and we don't believe in it.
तो फिर आप टीटीपी को क्यों सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं आपकी हुकूमत?
I wish I had the means to do it and the will to do it. I neither want that, nor is that the right thing to do, nor do we have the means to it. You'll have to look broader in that issue. You'll have to look further to find out your place.
और ये लोग कुनड़ और नूरिस्तान में नहीं बैठे?
Yes, they are there. Yes, they are there because of the war created against Afghanistan by the establishment in Pakistan. This is the consequence of the activities from across the dividend line in Pakistan towards Afghanistan. Not us. We are the victims of it. And you know, and the world knows we are victims of this.
लेकिन क्या मौलवी फ़कीर मोहम्मद साहब काबुल में नहीं है?
He is in our prison. We have arrested him.
अच्छा, मौलवी फ़कीर मोहम्मद साहब आपकी कैद में?
Yes.
अच्छा, और ये जो बलोच सेपरेटिस्ट के बारे में ये कहा जाता था कि आपने उनको इधर कैंप्स दिए थे?
That's not true. That's not true.
इस वक्त कोई बलोच सेपरेटिस्ट नहीं है अफगानिस्तान में?
No, none. And I've spoken this with President Musharraf and with Prime Minister Gilani. If there is any such evidence, let us know. Even when Bukti Sahib was made shaheed, was killed, was martyred, even then the Baluchis who wanted to become refugees in Afghanistan, we approached the United Nations for it. So it would become a UN matter of refugees, not in which the Afghan government will be involved.
और आपके मुल्क से ये जो ड्रोन उड़ते हैं और पाकिस्तान में रोज़ाना हमले करते हैं?
This is for between Pakistan and the United States.
ये अफगानिस्तान के सदर तो आप हैं ना?
Yes, right. But that issue of drones is between the United States and Pakistan. I am not in favor of drone attacks. I am against it. And I endorse Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif's stand on this. I will stand with Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif against drone attacks. Just as I have stood against American military operations in Afghanistan where civilians are killed, where civilians were wounded, where civilian homes were destroyed, I fully will stand with Pakistan against any activity by any foreign power that causes civilian casualties in Pakistan.
And you will support Nawaz Sharif for stopping this?
Absolutely, fully. I don't believe that the war on terror, the way it is going on, is going to give us any respite from terrorism. That this war is not going well and it is not targeting the right places. Bombing civilians with drones is not the answer to the issue if there is an issue there. Therefore, I have a clear view.
नवाज शरीफ पाकिस्तानी तालिबान से नेगोशिएशंस भी करना चाहते हैं. आप उसको सपोर्ट करेंगे या अपोज करेंगे? अगर पाकिस्तानी तालिबान के साथ
I would very much support Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif in his efforts to reach an agreement peacefully with the Pakistani Taliban, to end radicalism in Pakistan, to end the use of terrorism in Pakistan. And I will expect of him as a brother, as a helper in this with him, to do the same with us in Afghanistan. I'm calling on a bigger, I'm calling for a bigger platform between the two countries against extremism and terrorism that is destroying us both. Now, who started this? When did it start is a different question. I'm not going to go to history of this, but it's high time that we began to recognize that whoever did it, its inception, the terrorism and all that, is now eating away our own bodies and we must stop.
लेकिन पाकिस्तान में ये तासुर आम है कि अगर पाकिस्तानी हुकूमत पाकिस्तानी तालिबान के साथ मुज़ाकरात करती है तो अमेरिका भी उस पर खुश नहीं होगा और अफ़गान हुकूमत भी खुश नहीं होगी.
The United States can decide its own policy. My advice to the United States would be to work with both Afghanistan and Pakistan and bring in China and Russia and India as well to work together against extremism and terrorism here in this part of the world. Second, As far as Afghanistan and Pakistan is concerned, Afghanistan will give the greatest of helping hand by all measures to the government in Pakistan, especially to Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, whose intention is good for Pakistan, who I find to be a patriotic Pakistani, and someone who loves Pakistan, would also want to do well with neighbors for the good of Pakistan. Therefore, I hope he succeeds in fulfilling his vision for Pakistan, and that vision will certainly mean well for Afghanistan and for Pakistan's other neighbors as well.
और अफ़गान तालिबान के साथ जो आपकी रिकन्सिलिएशन और मुफाहमत का प्रोसेस था, वो कहाँ पहुँचा, किस स्टेज में है, कोई इम्कान है?
Well, we are seriously disappointed as far as the contribution from the Pakistani establishment to this is concerned. We were not given a helping hand on this. We are finding all other ways to find a solution to this problem. We know that the Afghan Taliban have sanctuary in Pakistan. We know that they have their places, hiding places there. We know they are backed from there, supported from there. We know that.
तो आप क्या डिमांड या कर रही हैं कि पाकिस्तानी इस्टेब्लिशमेंट अफगानी तालिबान को पकड़े, मारे, गिरफ्तार करें?
None of that, no. I'm not against arrest or killing. I'm for saving lives and bringing peace and dignity.
क्या आप एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे थे जो उन्होंने नहीं किया?
I expect the establishment in Pakistan to recognize that the use of extremism and terrorism against neighbors is a dangerous game. It's playing with fire. That fire has already shown its effects in Pakistan. That therefore it's time for us to work together as good neighbors and to end using terrorism as a tool. So in that spirit, I hope that the establishment in Pakistan will work with Afghanistan towards a peaceful solution to the problems that we have.
No, Your
of violence
Excellency,
and all
we
that.
want to know what you are expecting, what you are demanding, और क्या चीज़ थी जो उन्होंने नहीं की? बज़ाहिर तो ये कि वो कहते
उन्होंने कुछ भी नहीं की.
अच्छा,
In real terms, उन्होंने कुछ भी नहीं की.
मुल्ला बिरादर तक एक्सेस दिया, आप लोगों ने कहा तालिबान को रिहा करो.
But he is in Pakistani jails. A man that's seeking peace is put in prison. People seeking peace are killed.
आप
We know
उनकी
that.
रिहाई चाहते हैं,
Absolutely.
जिस तरह बाकी तालिबान रिहा हुई?
Absolutely.
अच्छा, तो ये इतने सारे जो रिहा कर दिए, उसका कोई फ़ायदा हुआ?
At least they are now free individuals.
But
They were imprisoned because they were seeking peace. Those who seek war are given support. Those who seek peace are put in Pakistani prisons.
But the Afghani Taliban and their leaders and their spokesmen, they are on record that we are ready to talk to America. But वो आपसे बात करने को तैयार
That's not true. This, again, statement given to them by an intelligence agency. These are not the words of the Taliban. These are the words of foreign intelligence agencies put out in the name of the Taliban. We know the Taliban want to talk to us. They do talk to us. They engage with us almost every day.
नहीं तो अमेरिकन के साथ तो कतर में ओपनली कर रहे हैं और आपके साथ
They will hopefully also begin to talk to the Afghan government. I have no complaints against the Taliban. They have no authority to either talk to us or refuse to talk to us. It's a broader, bigger intelligence game played in both Pakistan and Afghanistan, sometimes by the establishment in Pakistan, sometimes by bigger entities. So and I have no complaint against the bigger entities, no complaint against the Taliban. I'm specifically talking to one audience here. That one audience here is the establishment in Pakistan. That if they, the Pakistan military and the Pakistani intelligence, cooperate with Afghanistan for a better future for both countries, things will improve considerably in both countries. Now, we may continue to have problems. There are There are other hands playing in here, but those other hands we will be able to manage.
The major player to United States, क्या वो आपके साथ कोऑपरेट कर रहा है, क्या वो आपको ऑन बोर्ड ले रहा है, और अगर अमेरिका सबूताज कर रहा हो तो आपकी या पाकिस्तान की एफर्ट्स फ्रूटफुल हो सकती हैं?
Well, if Pakistan helps us from the perspective of two neighbors, of the necessity of life together that we have, to enable the energies of this region for better employment in the service of this region, so the youth of both countries can have a better future, many of our problems will be resolved. I know where the United States is helpful, where it is not. And we have a very clear dialogue with America on all these issues. And where the United States is an impediment, Afghanistan has been working with clarity and dedication to remove that impediment. And we have succeeded. We had differences of opinion in the past 2 weeks, 3 weeks, on aspects of the peace process. And I worked with President Obama on that, and I resolved it with him. So we know where to go for a problem that exists. Part of the problem is between us and Pakistan. Part of the problem is the view of the United States and NATO. We are separating. We're not blaming Pakistan for everything. No. Actually, we don't blame Pakistan. We are seeking a solution.
आप और पाकिस्तान के दरमियान है या आप और अमेरिका के दरमियान है?
America and Afghanistan have a dialogue as two sovereign countries. Afghanistan pursues that dialogue in absolute independence and strength. This is perhaps not felt in Pakistan. Second, Afghanistan has a problem, not with Pakistan or Pakistani people, but with the way the Pakistani military and intelligence perceive their interests and the pursuit of that interest in Afghanistan, in the region. That, we say, will not get you to the interest that you're seeking.
Last question.
Just a minute.
Yeah.
So, we have our difficulty with Pakistan. We want it to be resolved between us and Pakistan, where no third party will be able to play a spoiling game. We have our relationship and our difficulties with the United States. In that too, we are playing directly with America and with clarity.
लोग कहते हैं कि असल प्रॉब्लम आप और मुल्ला उमर के दरमियान है. कैसे होगा ये पैचअप आप और उनके दरमियान? वो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन नहीं मानते, उधर वो अमीरुल मोमिनीन है, उनके हाथ पे बैत हो चुकी है, या अमीरुल मोमिनीन आपके पॉलिटिकल सिस्टम का हिस्सा कैसे बन सकते हैं?
The Taliban government transferred power to me in Kandahar in 2001. They brought me a letter from the Council of Ministers of the Taliban, and this is stated also by Taliban officials in various interviews. So that part is over. There is no problem between me and Mullah Omar at all. I don't have a problem with anybody in Afghanistan.
लेकिन तालिबान उनके हाथ पे बैत कर चुके हैं और अमीरुल मोमिनीन क्या वज़ीर आज़म या सदर बन सकते हैं?
That's for the Afghan constitution. They are, as Afghans, have a right to the Afghan constitution's privileges and responsibilities. And with peace coming, the Afghans can get together to discuss all these issues. So that's an internal issue.
और आप उनको मनाने के लिए कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में तरमीम कर सकते हैं?
Absolutely. If it is done through the mechanisms that Afghans have, through a lawyer jargon of the Afghan people, where the Afghan people participate, yes, why not? But I'd like to come back to my original point. Relationships between Afghanistan and Pakistan is not doing well because of Afghanistan or the Afghan people. The Afghan people desire the best, the friendliest of relations with Pakistan. I hope that the military in Pakistan and the intelligence setup in Pakistan will recognize this opportunity, move it forward. And I hope that when the next government comes in Afghanistan, a year from now, that Pakistan will grab the opportunity and do it will with them substantially.
Next government किसकी होगी?
It would be decided by the Afghan people.
आप दोबारा इलेक्शन लड़ेंगे कोई?
No,
आइन में तरमीम का इरादा है?
No, I have no intention.
आपका कैंडिडेट होगा, किसको सपोर्ट करेंगे?
Well, I will try my best to move the process forward rather than to move the candidates forward.
Some people believe that your brother Karzai will be the candidate.
As a citizen of Afghanistan, he has the right. But my advice to him would be not to go into this field.
बहुत शुक्रिया मुहतरम।
Thank you.